What's up, cool kids? John here from What's Johnny Watching? Well, today's video is a departure from what I am normally posting on here. Last week, I was on KB's The Conversation, and we were talking backstage because a friend of mine had popped up in the chats, and I was telling him how he and I came up with this game when we were at work. We came up with this game, which is a kind of twist on the popular 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game, where you would try to connect an actor or actress to Kevin Bacon using 6 steps. Well, we decided to put a twist on it by saying, well, all right, well, how can you connect such and such to such and such using the shortest amount of steps without using a film that they had worked in together? Like, we couldn't use George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. We couldn't use a particular avenue because they had worked together in Gravity. So we had to go find another route to build that bridge. So we would just keep doing this back and forth every single day. We couldn't use our cell phones at the time because, we wanted to challenge our brains instead of having to rely on, our cell phones. And yes, we got yelled at a lot, and yes, we didn't care. But it got to the point where, we were just like, we were running out of things to do, because as soon as I would mention 2 people, or he would mention 2 people, boom, I would have it right there. So I came home and I'm like, all right, how can I challenge him? Is there a way that I could beat him at this? And I had it. I said, okay, well, I'll connect the James Bonds. I'll build the bridge from Sean Connery to Daniel Craig. And I said, now I can't use anybody who's worked in a James Bond film with them. That means I couldn't use, Lois Maxwell, who played Moneypenny, or Bernard Lee, or Desmond Llewellyn, who played Q. I couldn't use them, so I had to find alternate routes to build the bridge. And I was able to do it in 13 steps. With that, now I also decided that I did not want to use the non-canon James Bond films, which is, I never say never again, because that's, they don't pay any attention to that. And that god-awful Casino Royale with Orson Welles and David Niven and Peter Sellers. I decided not to use those. And for those of you who have seen the James Bond movies, you know that Connery left and then George Lazenby came in, and then Connery came back for just one more. I decided to use just a straight path from Connery to Lazenby to Roger Moore, because essentially that's what it is. It's Connery, Lazenby, Moore. So that's how I built that bridge. But I did it in 13 steps. And I have it written down because, good God, I cannot remember how the hell I did it. But I have it written down. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to show you how I built that bridge. But before I do, go ahead and hit that like and hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. That way I can keep bringing you more of these videos. So, how did I build that bridge? Now, with each one of these bridges, these steps that I build, I will put the poster up of the movie that sort of connects them to each one. So starting off, it's Sean Connery is James Bond. He is the best James Bond. I don't care what anybody says. But I'm going to start off with Sean Connery and Ed Harris in The Rock. And then from there, I connected Ed Harris to Jeff Daniels in The Hours. And then from Jeff Daniels to George Lazenby to Gettysburg. Lazenby was the hardest one to do because he really hasn't acted that much, with everybody else as opposed to all the other Bonds. But Lazenby was the hardest, and I was able to somehow link him. I was able to link George Lazenby to Forrest Whitaker in 4 Dogs Playing Poker. Then from Forrest Whitaker, I was able to link him with Cuba Gooding Jr. in The Butler. And from Cuba Gooding Jr. to Roger Moore in Boat Trip. And then from Roger Moore to Meatloaf in Spice World. That mistake of a movie. Then from Meatloaf, I was able to link him to Steve Martin in Leap of Faith. And then from Steve Martin to Timothy Dalton in Looney Tunes, Back in Action. Then from Timothy Dalton, I was able to connect him to Jennifer Connelly in The Rocketeer. And I was able to connect Jennifer Connelly to Pierce Brosnan in Salvation Boulevard. I know Ed Harris is in this, but it's okay. And then from Pierce Brosnan, I was able to link him to Jeffrey Rush in The Tailor of Panama. And the last step, I was able to connect Jeffrey Rush to Daniel Craig in Munich. So there you have it. 13 steps connecting Sean Connery to Daniel Craig. I built the bridge, the Bond bridge. If you can do it any quicker, please leave a comment down in the section below. I'd like to know how you did it quicker. And as for that, that's how I built the bridge. That's my game that me and my friend came up with. And yes, we'll never see any money for it, but that's okay. If I actually had money for it, I wouldn't be bringing you YouTube videos. So, until next time, what are you watching today?